common thing that gets brought up whenever we're visiting like family and things like that is like people now see the way that we do things and they want to live a more non-toxic lifestyle, but they feel like it's overwhelming or stressful or expensive.
Which is better than how it used to be. It used to be criticism, like, and you guys are insane. I don't understand it.
Yeah. And
now it's curiosity.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the way that almost everything happens. Anytime you're trying to change the way your family does something or do something different than your parents did, it's always going to be criticized and ridiculed and mocked first.
Yeah, of course.
Then there's curiosity. Then a lot of times it gets like implemented within families, and I feel like that's definitely where my family
that's
is.
At least the direction it's going.
Yeah, but with like extended families still, it's like the interest, but the like feeling that like it's so overwhelming to completely change everything about like the way you interact with the world, the things that you are so used to buying.
Well, because I mean it is very different. So like people view it, it's change. It's something that's uncomfortable. So a lot of people still view it as like it takes a lot of work and it's a huge amount of effort and it's impossible and you got to go out of your way for all this different stuff. Whereas if you do it the way we've always done it, then it's faster and quicker and you can get more done.
And you'll die.
Yeah, then that's obviously the end result.
You'll get sick.
But now everyone's kind of realized that that's not the case. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, and like for me and for you, it's always been fun. And like I've never felt that overwhelm. It's always been like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. And I think at times when you're getting into like the big things, like we got to get a whole house water filter and we got to like get the whole house.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Those are things that it's like, yes, and it's an investment financially, but that's not where you have to start like at all.
No, those are major purchases. Like I said, I'm not even there yet.
Yeah, but there's so many things like I make you open doors and windows all the time. So we're basically living with no AC or heater because like the natural air, like until you can get like the air filtration, all the big things. But the main point is like we've done it in a way that I could never not live this way. And there's nothing that I miss. Like people still are like, don't you miss like having fast food, or what's the one restaurant that you like
that you still
wish that you didn't know that they use bad ingredients? Nothing. Like everything that we used to do whenever we like were phasing it out, the reason we stopped doing it is because this feels empty, this feels dead, this feels off.
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable. And we just found better and better things that we love more. And so basically that's like the point. We're going to walk through all the things we've done.
And we're going to try to keep it under 3 hours.
Yeah, maybe not all, but we'll go into like the major like lifestyle things, what we use, what we consume, things like that.
And a little bit about when I'm out of town and really don't have options.
Yeah, so for people that are traveling or people that are new to this and they're just...
Yeah, you don't want to make a 180-degree change.
Yeah, if you're in a pattern where like you genuinely DoorDash 4 days a week or more, like you're not going to just cook every single thing.
Yeah, you're not going to jump right to milling your own flour and stuff.
And that's normal. So
that kind of falls in the same category as like what I am subjected to, the choices I have to make.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that work in environments where like, I can't control that my work sprays Febreze and has those plugins.
Yeah, no, you can't.
It's like some things like you might be able to control, but some things you can't depending on where you're at. So I think we'll get into like what you do when you're out of town and what it's like for me to hold it down at the house and just make sure that everything is really set up for us to feel our best when we're here.
Yeah. Well, the first thing, back to what we started with, is dealing with the people around us, their approach and kind of what we have to say to them, or what we have to, help them with their new, I guess, interest or whatever. But before we get there, what do we have here?
Yeah. Well, I say for this one, we're cheersing to pristine ingredient.
No, pristine ingredients.
Everything around me.
We just said this like 10 minutes ago. I forgot.
Cheers to pristine quality
and beauty. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, we got it. I just was sitting here burning a hole in my pocket. I was like, I need to drink this ASAP.
Okay, well, I think we should start here because a lot of people would maybe look at this and be like, how could you talk about being healthy and having a non-toxic lifestyle when you drink wine?
It's simple. I'm an alcoholic. It's just, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, so I think the wine is a huge piece because that's kind of what we did. Oh, that's always kind of been our hobby, I guess, is wine tasting.
Yes.
And we did start out going to all the places. A lot of times you would feel pretty bad after because if you had a lot, then there's so many chemicals. I guess like probably, I think the EWG says grapes are one of the most like toxic crop because they're sprayed heavily.
They're sprayed, it's not really looked at like it's like a commodity now. So, I mean, it's treated just like they would treat soybeans when it comes to like anything outside of like a small little operation that's trying to do things right. So, yeah, they're up there. It's like the highest like toxicity level as far as your consumption, not to mention whatever they end up doing with the wine to make it what it's sitting in your glass right now. Like just the raw grapes alone are not very good for you. So this
one you got for us. I really want to go to this winery, but I didn't get to. But your work brought you to this winery, so tell us about it. How are they different? How is it that we can drink this and feel still great about it?
Well, first, this kind of ties in a little bit to like what I do when I'm at work or out of town and whatnot to try to align myself a little bit more.
Walk me through like that trip in particular. What was your plan while you're away, so we could talk about like what you had access to, what you didn't, and then we can even talk about this winery and then the types of wine that we drink.
Yeah. Well, this work took me to the Dalles, Oregon. I mean, I could go into detail about a lot of different things, how the job itself went and blah, 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 but we're not going to go there. I don't know, I take everything like I meet it all with like the same kind of approach going out of town. Like I know I'm not going to be sleeping the same that I do at home. I'm not going to the water is going to be different in the shower. So, I mean, I got long hair, so, I take a shower, I can feel the difference in my hair. I could feel the difference if I'm out of town for 2 weeks or something, my skin starts to, take in the water differently. And obviously the diet is the biggest one. So I just try to do what I can to eat as close to what I do at home because I work long hours. So, and obviously most of the time I'm staying in a hotel. So it's not like I can make myself full meals and whatnot. I just try to find places that I think, even if they're not doing the same quality as, maybe I find a place that does brick oven pizza or something like that. It's not going to be the same as when we make pizza at home, but it's, the love and the quality and everything that's put into the product that they're selling to you is going to be different than just stopping by Little Caesars or going and getting a frozen pizza at a grocery store. So a lot of places I try to find are just like small little operations that you can tell they're passionate about what they're doing. Because believe it or not, that does affect how you feel while you're eating the food and afterwards. That's a lot of like the energy that's put into it. So I try to find places like that. The Dow's nothing special. There's nothing like, there's no like seed oil scout that's going to lead you anywhere special there. But yeah, I just found like little small places, it was like a microbrewery, and they did had like burgers and pizza and stuff like that. So I ended up like a freak. Like they probably thought I was like, some weirdo that was just addicted to their food, but it was just because they were the only sort of quality place around. But I ended up having to spend one weekend up there, and I used to live in Portland, so I was like, I know the area around Portland, the Willamette Valley specifically, is a very, very well-known wine spot. So on was it Saturday or whatever, went over to back to see like the old house that we lived in as a kid and whatnot, and ended up going to, was it 2 or 3 different wineries?
2.
I think it was 2, yeah. But I just looked around to find places because, like I said, it's a big, well-known area. So just going out of my way to find places that, I mean, a good start for us that we used to do was looking at the SIP certified. I mean, it's not ideal now, but like if you're going to start down a path of trying to find stuff that's, not just going off of what labels are in the grocery store, that's a good start. And then I just looked into places that were doing everything organic as far as like with the wine, like with the no sulfites. They don't put any sulfites in their wine. The way that like the ground that they have, is it dry farmed or not? Are they going back and are they maybe using manure to fertilize their fields? Are they spraying it with a chemical? Or are they just letting nature do its thing? There's many different ways you can find this kind of stuff. But the Cooper Mountain was the one that I ended up like really falling in love with. There's another one, drawing a blank on the name, but starts with a P, I believe. Either way, it doesn't matter.
I
But
didn't go there, but I know you did buy one. I can't remember.
I got
Ponzi.
Yes, Ponzi. My apologies. The great place, beautiful view, wonderful wine. But yeah, no, I mean, that's something that I did in that time. Just instead of doing like a lot of people that are in the trades that are around me, people that I work with, that even just during the week, they just go get their case of Coors Lights and they go back to their room and they DoorDash their Burger King or whatever it is, and they just accept that like I have to eat like this. Like this last week, I was way up in the middle of nowhere, and I tried to find like a nice spot. There was really nothing there. It's small town, middle of nowhere. So I just ended up at the grocery store, and as dumb as it sounds to most people, I just ended up buying cheese and pistachios and some salami, and that's like pretty much what I had for dinner 3 out of the 4 nights. And it sucked, but you're not gonna die. You're gonna survive. It's gonna be okay. And it was either that or I subject myself to, at best, going to a Subway or some hole-in-the-wall Chinese restaurant or buying frozen pizzas or, whatever it is. And I just try to do my best. You have to know that it's not going to be the same. Like, I know the water I drink, the food I eat, the bed that I sleep in, none of it is going to be as quality, and I'm not going to feel as good as I do at home. But this is what I chose to do for a living. This is what I enjoy doing. This is the little sacrifice I make. I'm not going to complain about it. A lot of people might disagree with me. A lot of people, the guys I work with would get mad at me every night because I wasn't going over to their hotel and crushing beers and barbecuing some random, not grass-fed, disgusting steaks that's probably been sitting on this grocery store shelf for the last month. It's not my thing. If you guys want to do that, it's fine. But a lot of people, they just accept that this is just what I do. But for me, it's just, I just try to make the best of it and just know. I just remember my mind goes back to, I grew up, I watched a lot of Man vs. Wild, and just the stats on how long a human can go without eating, how long they can go without drinking any water at all. And it's going to suck. You're not going to feel as full as if you have, like we had today, like grilled cheese and tomato soup. You're not going to feel full. You didn't have all that. But, you had a couple peanuts and you had a little bit of cheese and, you just made them. You're not going to die. You're not going to die.
Yeah, you do a lot of fasting.
I do.
Even when you're home, like for the work day, we've talked about that.
Yes, I do. My nose is itching. I don't know why. There's water here. It's just fucked up.
What you were saying, how the guys in your on the most recent job you did, how they barbecued, that's even much better, even if it's not good quality steak.
That is, yeah.
I don't hear that happening often. Normally, it's like the only option is McDonald's or Subway, and that's what they get, and you're like...
Yeah, these guys were a little bit more forward thinkers. They're young guys. They're not like the old guys that just end up just giving up. They don't want to go other way and do that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not bashing them for what they were doing, but also while they were doing that, they were just getting hammered every night, so it wasn't really my cup of tea. But either way, I mean, yeah, it's a great option. You know, if I was over there with them, that's a good way to do things. You know, you're doing that instead of going and buying. You don't know what this Mexican restaurant is putting in their food. You don't know how long these refried beans have been sitting out. You don't know any of that kind of stuff. So, in my case, you know, I didn't buy the meat. I don't want to go over there, and it wasn't my thing. But
well, it leads down like a different lifestyle, I guess. Like I could very easily like get caught up doing like if you hang out one time with a certain group of people, like
yeah, then it's all week. I'm gonna be there.
Well, it's hard to maintain like the way that you feel good if it's like this is now what we're doing for this time.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be more of a shock when you go back to like.
Yeah,
it's just such a drastic.
So I don't know. I try my best. You know, if I'm working in a heavily populated area, I try to like, you know, just make my best effort to eat something quality. You know, at worst case, you know, as stupid as it might sound, I would rather go to a restaurant than a fast food place. Like, just like little things like that.
You always eat by yourself at restaurants because of work, and
you think it's nuts.
I just like I
do it all the time.
Like to do that, but at the same time, no, I wouldn't. Like
it's enjoyable. I
like it.
I think it's. That. I mean, it's not enjoyable. Like I would rather have a meal at home, but like I've gotten used to doing that as opposed to going through some drive-through. That it's like I don't even think twice about it. But like, yeah, I guess it is kind of weird going to a restaurant by yourself.
Like the anxiety of walking in and they're like table for one. I don't know.
Yeah.
That like freaks me out. But that's probably something I should outgrow.
No, I don't like at the end of the day, the working out of town and all that kind of stuff, it's not ever going to be as healthy as it is being here. So I'm happy when I have weeks that I'm working close by and I can be home every night because I know everything's going to be, as close to perfect as possible. This is the life I chose. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain about it. You just kind of make the most out of it. And if it's something that really bothers you and you hate it, and I mean, we all make our own bed and you got to sleep in it. If you don't like it, buy a new bed, Yeah. It's just, that's good. It's unfortunate, but.
So what about the winery?
So yeah, back to the winery. Yeah, from what I remember, it's been a while. But so I know they have all their grapes are organically grown. So they do like the dry farm. They don't do they're not spraying pesticides. They don't use fertilizers.
Were they regenerative soil or no?
I believe so. Yeah, but they do little things like they don't even go out there with a mower and mow between the vines. They have like herds of sheep or goats that they send out there every couple of months. As far as the pests, like the rodents and whatnot that come cruising through there, they got owls in the area. It's up in the mountains, so they got hawks and eagles and whatnot that take care of that stuff. So, yeah, then they came out with a whole new, I guess their new plan, their new vision was for wine that had no sulfites in it. So I'm sorry to all the people that want to go to Safeway and get their bottle of Gergich wine that is going to sit on the shelf and last for a while. No sulfites. At the end of the day, it does shorten the shelf life if you don't properly store wine. But either way, yeah, that's from what I remember off the top of my head. That's how they did things.
They never touched it. It was like natural yeast. So they just harvested the grapes.
Yeah, they let the yeast that was on the skin of the grape that naturally comes about, they let that do the work. They're not adding any. It's
just letting nature.
Just let the process happen.
Fermentation create the alcohol. And it's incredible, and you can really feel the difference. And this is the old world way. So that's the other thing. We don't get this wine that often because we don't have any. We're not on their subscription mailing list or
Unfortunately
anything.
not, yeah.
With places like this, it's just cool when you do get to find them and go wine tasting and grab a couple bottles. But
yeah, I've stopped the membership
for the
thing.
most part, we only buy from Europe.
Yeah, it's all from France or Italy, all through Kermit Lynch. Shout out Kermit Lynch.
Yeah, and so over there they do things this way. It's like more, especially with Kermit Lynch, you can actually look up each winery that he backs, and they do the same process, which is extremely rare to find in the U.S. And the U.S., like, our soils, they're just messed up, so you're probably not going to find it, and even if you find it, it's not as well established.
No, and
So,
they get priced out, they get bought out, they get pushed out because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business, and people are just treating it like they're selling laptops, and so those guys don't end up surviving very long, or if they do, they're hard to find. And but yeah, just doing your research into any of that kind of stuff. I try to do that across the board anytime I'm out of town, just with food, with anything I decide I want to drink, where I sleep, what I do with my time. You just got to know that anytime you're not, I mean, here, like at home, you're at the Oasis. You're there. You're in the Garden of Eden, right? You're there. Anytime you go outside of that, it's not going to be the same. You might find a spot with a nice waterfall that looks similar to the Oasis you have here, but it's not going to be the same. Sometimes I luck out, and it ends up working out great. But overall, that's what I do.
yeah, it's good. So what are the main things you notice when you get home that you're like, this is so much better, this feels better?
The sleep for sure. That's the biggest one.
So what's like the big things with sleep? We wear an eye mask to make sure it's completely blackout.
Yeah,
eye
I
mask.
still do that. I take the same eye mask with me, but the biggest thing that I notice, I don't know what it is that causes it, but anytime I don't sleep in my own bed, I wake up every 2 to 4 hours.
Well, we have organic linen sheets
Yeah.
in bedding. So natural material bedding. One of those investments that we've not even made that is future is like buying an organic mattress. So
Yeah.
we don't even have that. But like you can do the sheets. We got them. I got them like 2 years ago on like a Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
So like there's things that we could do there. But also like.
And they're for a queen size bed, aren't they? They're not even for the.
Yeah, because I bought them a long time ago.
But they work. They're stretched to fit.
Yeah, we have a king and they are queen. I should buy more now. It's been a while, but yeah, I just stretched the queen ones to fit our king bed.
It works.
It's fine. It feels great.
It works.
And there's something energetically with sleep. That's why it's crazy. This is a whole another topic, but I go off on tangents. Some like couples talk about how they don't even sleep in the same room because of the energy of the person you're next to, which I think is like so sad. Like you should get that figured out before you get married. That's part of like choosing to live with this person forever, is that you have like a resonant energy that eases your nervous system, that makes you sleep better.
That's
and
weird.
I definitely feel that way with you. Also, like if your partner's unhealthy, their exhale at night, for one, if they're mouth breathing, you got to tape up. But even like just your exhale, it releases like, it's like when you're asleep, that's when you're really detoxing. So if your like partner is really unhealthy, you could be like soaking
But what you're
in,
taking in, everything that they're putting out. Yeah.
There's something to that. So I think maybe it's like an energetic thing of why you feel like my bed is the comfiest, and then also
I never never noticed, because obviously I was doing the same thing for work before I met you. I never really noticed it that much like then, but now I definitely know it's either that or it's the fact it's not my own bed. It's like no matter where I am, I could be staying at like my parents' house, and it's going to be the same thing. Like if it's just me by myself, I will wake up every 4 hours. Like anytime I'm not here, and I don't know, maybe if I think about it, maybe it has happened when I've just been here by myself and you weren't. But I don't know. Either way, it's a weird deal. I notice it, and so that's the biggest thing when I come home that I notice is I set my alarm, I go to sleep, and I'm asleep until my alarm goes off.
And we are very early sleepers. I think that's helped our health a lot.
Yeah,
Most days,
I'm a geezer.
we go to sleep by 8 p.m.
Yeah.
On like a normal weekday. I mean, a lot of times we get in bed earlier in the winter, sometimes like 6:45.
Yeah.
Because also that's part of it. I love to eat early, and like
Yes.
it feels so good to like let your body have that long break. To if you eat dinner at like 4,
Yeah.
and then you don't eat again till like 7 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't get that much sleep because you wake up crazy early for like different jobs and stuff. But I like the consistency of always go to sleep really early, like 8:30, and then I wake up at 5:30. So like an early morning, as close to like the sun setting and the sun rising. I do like a bit before the sunrise, and then depending on the season, we do like at sunset or a bit after in winter. But that's crazy how early we go to sleep. A lot of people don't.
Oh yeah, no chance. I mean, I work with guys that like they normally stay up until like midnight. Like they're up until midnight, just sitting there on their phone doing whatever. They're not even like drinking. They're just like laying there, and they're just like, yeah, dude, I didn't go to sleep till like midnight. Like, why? It's like, well, I just couldn't sleep.
Also,
and they're waking up at 4 in the morning. It's like, what are you doing, man? How are you doing that?
I play frequency noises and sleeping meditations.
Well, that's, I think, my theory is why all those guys are ill.
Yeah, because they're not sleeping.
Yeah, their sleep sucks.
Yeah, that's like one of the main
idiots.
Things. So, yeah, sleep, and then what else do you notice when you get home?
I mean, obviously the food quality, that's like a known thing. I'd know that. It's like before I even leave to go to town. I'm like, it's gonna suck, so I'm just gonna eat a very minimal amount, enough that I feel like I can survive, and I'm all right.
Yeah, so the difference with food quality.
I don't pig out when I go to town. I don't like go out and like. I mean, if I'm home, I mean, I could have probably eaten that entire thing of tomato soup, but like if I'm out of town, I eat just enough to where I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, because that's something I've noticed since we've changed like the way that we eat by like cooking everything ourselves.
Yeah.
I was telling you yesterday or today, I can't remember. I can't think of one single thing that we buy packaged anymore. That's like a packaged, like back we used to buy like tomato soup in a carton. Now I roasted all the tomatoes, the carrot, bell pepper, like you roast it, blend it up with like the immersion blender.
Only thing,
bone
maybe...
broth. I don't make bone broth every time, but that's one ingredient. I mean, sometimes.
But you have though.
Yeah, I make bone broth whenever we buy chicken.
One thing I could say is maybe like a mustard or like a.
And I've been looking.
Like a steak sauce or something like that. Like sauces, I would think like that's the only thing. But
yeah, so this is like the thing with food. We've gone from there was like a 2-year phase out of like phasing out all the things we were just used to and normalized.
Yeah.
In turning to only real food ingredients. So you look at the ingredient list on the package, and it's literally in the hot sauce, it's red peppers, jalapeno.
It's the simplest thing, yeah.
I don't know, vinegar. That's it.
Yeah.
And so like you phase out to only package stuff that's that.
Yeah.
And that was like a 2-year of like getting that really down, cooking everything. Like cooking meals at home.
And that's a great spot to be at.
Yeah.
But
really reading the ingredient list and no longer using things that have any type of like chemical ingredients, fillers, seed oils, gums.
Yeah.
Anything synthetic that's not from nature.
Yeah.
Don't buy that package. And that's where we were at for like 2 years straight. Only like this year, probably like the past 6 months, probably actually a year since I started doing sourdough. That's been over a year. It's really...
It's like, I think
really when we got the raw milk from the farm, which is not... It's been like 6 months.
Yeah. And that's when like it ties back to like what I was saying about like if you're somewhere where you gotta eat something. And you like at bare minimum you want to find somewhere that like the energy of it is like, you know...
feel like there's like an artisan that's putting their heart into
Yes.
this.
So like this is the same thing we kind of came around to with like little things. It's just like I know we're buying the best quality packaged ingredient of whatever this is, but the jalapenos that are in this, it might, they probably they might have not used the best quality, or it was just some guy doing a job whipping it all up.
Yeah, and also it's still manufactured. Like the jalapenos probably came from another country, flew on a plane, and then they're in a manufacturing plant.
Yes.
On a machine, filling up these bottles, putting it's all synthetic. But even though the ingredients are real, it's just the energy is.
It's going through an alien process.
Yes. Yes. And so that's when I started to feel like, okay, all the ingredients we use are good on paper, but there's still a feeling like this is not as good as it can get.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started like making my own cheese from the raw milk that we get from our own cow that is at the farm. Yeah,
and it's like it's a process. I mean, obviously, like we don't have everything completely dialed in yet.
No, like the hot sauce, I was saying I should be able to.
Yeah, but like the mattress and the like stuff like that. Oh yeah, I don't have a reverse osmosis system yet. Yeah, because I don't have 25 grand to drop on this at this moment in time, and so it's just it's a constant like learning process. So it's not like we've arrived or anyone's arrived. Like even some of the like smartest people that are like out on the forefront of trying to better their life in this kind of way, like as far as quality and living as close to nature as you can. Even those people are like every 6 months, every year, they're changing their tune. They're oh, you know what? Turns out actually there's something a little bit better here. I can do this. I can change that. So it's not like we've arrived.
No,
we don't have everything figured out, and so it's like it's hard to explain that to other people because they just like they think it's just like a switch that you make, and it's like changing your headlights from halogen to LED, and it's just like once you make this change, it's just that's it. It's like no, you have to fully commit to like I want to live my life this way, and it's a constant just you're trying to improve, and you want to. Once you start to see the benefits, you start to feel the benefits. Then it's like, yeah, you don't want to stop. You want to keep going. You want to keep learning. You want to keep trying to tweak this and change this. And that was like the coolest thing with like the process of when we first started changing things. It actually happened pretty quick because like you start to you start to look at yourself and how things are affecting you. So like you change, whatever bread it is you're eating, whatever pizza sauce is, whatever the milk, the cheese, whatever it is you're taking in, and then you'll realize like, okay, the meat that I have, I know I'm doing this correctly. I got this grass-fed, grass-finished beef that I'm gonna make these steak tacos tonight. And you do that, and you make homemade tortillas, and you do that, and everything's simple and cool. And then, but it turns out that maybe the Greek yogurt that you use to make some sauce was goofing up your stomach. So like you're like sitting there trying to like, it's like doing like a reverse math problem. Like you just try to figure out, oh, it's probably because I use this type of oil for this. And you're able to like make those tweaks and changes as you go. Well, so unless someone's willing to like buckle down and constantly be analyzing and paying attention to not just like checking a box of like, I got all my groceries at Sprouts, so we're dialed. Like you're constantly like it's a lifestyle. It's you have to want the change.
It's like, to me, it's always been fun because when you do find like, oh, I finally found this farm and now I can get all my meat from them, and you feel good about it.
It's great, yeah.
But then while you're making that meat, if you have like another ingredient, like say the cheese you're using is not good, it's like Kraft. You're like, well, I don't want to put that on my good meat. Because, like, that's how I started to feel of like, oh, I need to get every single thing. Like, if I'm going to do it at all, I want to do it 100%.
It was like when we had that 1999 cab from, I think it was Camus or whatever. Like, I didn't want to drink anything else after that because I was like, I don't want to, like, take away from the quality that this was. It's the same kind of deal. Like, I mean, I'm an idiot, so that's just where my mind goes. But it's the same kind of thing. It's like, once you get a quality piece of meat, you get a giant brisket that you spent this money on, it's quality,
you don't want to put seasoning package.
No, you don't want to lather it with
like
you don't want to lather it in garbage. You're like, no, it's going to take away from this beautiful quality piece of meat.
And I think that's the fun of it. And if you don't have that mindset, then
that's not for you.
Get off the train.
If you're totally
accept, that's you. I just think you then don't complain that you're sick and you feel like shit. Like, sorry, like
Yeah, don't tell me you have a stomach ulcer at 27. I don't care. That's what you're doing.
That's your private matter.
Don't make your problems my problems, all right?
No, but the amount of times like I have bought in like, and I'm like, oh, I found the best new lotion. This is like the best ingredients, and then it's like, oh no, that one has this ingredient. It's not. And then that's what's brought me to though, like everything needs to be single ingredient and like do it yourself. And I was hearing about these restaurants. I think the people went on Joe Rogan. Obviously, I didn't hear about them from that because I didn't listen to that, but they have these restaurants. And they blew up because Joe Rogan went to them. And their like thing that they're talking about is everything we serve, I had to have made it myself with the ingredients that are local to this region. That's a true restaurant, and that's a true chef. Yeah. He's like, if I want to serve Parmesan on our pasta, I got to wait 9 months because I have to go make Parmesan cheese, have it in my like cellar for 9 months, and nobody at the restaurant can have Parmesan until I do it. And that's very much my philosophy with the home. Like you always say, like even with the grilled cheese and tomato soup, we hadn't had it in a while, and you're like, you told me I think like 3 weeks in a row I want to have grilled cheese and tomato soup, and I was like, oh, okay, but our garden doesn't have tomatoes anymore, so I just kept pushing it off. But then I was like, okay, we have this food co-op that I can get local organic tomatoes, even though I don't think it's the best time of year for them. Yeah, but
someone might have them in a greenhouse.
Yes, so I bought all the vegetables for it and blended it up myself, and then the sourdough is mine. The cheddar was not mine yet, but it was only one ingredient. It was an A2 regeneratively farmed grass-fed cows. That's what they used for the cheddar. Yeah. The butter is from, like, our farm. But that's, like, the way I cook now. And, yes, I know that's not a starting point, but, like, that's, like, the fun of going on this journey is I'm surprised at what I can make. I didn't ever see myself making cheese and making bread and making yogurt. The thing...
Not to mention the flour that
yeah, I mill my own flour, and we're making raviolis tonight.
Yes.
I made them once before. Well, that's fun. Like, mill your own flour. Use the eggs from our own chickens to make the pasta. Then run the lasagna noodles through the machine. Roll it out. Then the cheese, I made my own ricotta cheese today. With raw milk from the farm. Just like everything. It's so fun. But that's the thing, like back to the wine, like fermenting stuff. Like it's nature really has it down, and fermented stuff is really good for you.
It was like the kombucha.
Yeah, so now I make kombucha. Yeah. I make sauerkraut myself just from a cabbage. All you do is squeeze the cabbage and then put it in a jar, and it makes sauerkraut. Yeah. I make yogurt.
Kimchi.
I've never made that. I don't know how to make that. I think you need like certain spices.
Well, then we got 12 gallons of wine sitting in a barrel right out there.
Yeah, because you're making wine fermented naturally, and we squeezed it ourselves. Like it's just, those are the things that I feel like are really fun. But that's like the cooking thing. I think once you start
cooking, of it too. I think, because I view it the same way. So, like, let's just say you go to the store and you buy a bag of, Ruffles, just straight regular potato chips. It is so easy. Get away from the wine, Lux. It is so easy to sit there and eat the whole fucking bag. It's so easy. You don't feel yourself getting bloated. You don't feel it. You can, right now, I promise you, anybody listening to this, you, me, everybody, if you like the taste of it, you can crush the whole fucking bag. If you make your own French fries at home, you eat like a quarter of them. I notice it all the time when I make tortillas. My eyes are bigger than my stomach, and I make 2 massive quesadillas. I barely make it through the first one. I'm like, I'm satisfied. I don't need to crush 40 of these. But if I had some Mission tortillas, no hate on Mission, but if I had any of those, I can eat 4 quesadillas, no problem. But it's the same thing with like alcohol. If I had, a 12-pack of Bud Lights, I could drink all of them right now in the time it's taking me to tell you this. And, I might get buzzed or whatever, but like I wouldn't notice that I just drank 12. But you get some quality beer, something from a brewery that is out in Germany that's been around since the 4th century. You have like 2 or 3, and then soon you're like, I don't need to have 50 of these things. Like I don't want it. Just you end up digging, you end up taking away from the quality. It's like I don't want to have 47 glasses of this, but if you put some, I don't know, some duck horn or something nasty like that in front of me, yeah, I could probably drink 8 glasses of wine at dinner, and like you don't even notice it. Like it's just when the product does not have quality, I have a theory that you end up trying to supplement the lack of quality with the amount that you take in.
It's not a theory at all. That's why there's so many kids who are obese now. They're chronically malnourished, and that's why they keep eating because they're starving. But it's because what they're eating has no nutritional value.
Yeah, so they're getting the hand.
They're missing like
hand to mouth coordination. They're getting that, but they're like, and they're taking something in, so they're tricking their body. But there's no nutrients in anything.
Yeah. And I think though that's kind of my other piece. When you go out of town, you don't feel like, oh, now I'm gonna like go off the rails. Like people with their cheat days.
Oh yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I'm gonna cheat this day and go off the rails.
It's my night to take my family to Mountain Mike's or something.
I don't. Once you like are no longer addicted to the like chemicals and the processing of these products.
Yeah.
You don't have that, and it puts you back in tune with your body's natural systems, where you really can only take in what feels good for your body, and that's the greatest blessing. And that's like why I'm so obsessed with what we've done, because I never thought I could have that. I never thought I would experience life where I'm not craving like the dessert and craving like
because it's such a common thing. It's just like, you know, you have these like cheat days, or like I don't know. I can't. This is what I mean. It's like it's a lifestyle change. Like you have to want this, you have to love it, you have to realize and feel the difference for yourself. Otherwise, then if you work a job like I do, as soon as you go out of town, it's going to be right back to DoorDash, and it's going to be, you know, I'm crushing Burger King and Carl's Jr. and I'm going to Little Caesars and I'm doing this. And it's like, if that's like the way you do things, and obviously like you don't recognize the benefit that changing your diet or changing the air quality you breathe and the water you drink and whatever it is, like it does nothing for you. So if you're still someone that's gonna, you know, hide ho-hos in the, you know, in the closet somewhere, so every time your husband or wife isn't looking, you're gonna crush 3 of them, or you're gonna reward yourself after doing well all week. And I made sourdough and I did this, so tonight I'm gonna have some Kraft mac and cheese and a bag of chips and, you know, some sangria from fucking Walmart. Yeah, you're gonna do that, then obviously this is not something you want. If you still like have to allow yourself time to...
Well, and it's probably best to just let it go, because the stress and the guilt of it is going to make you worse off. Yeah. Like you might as well just let it go. But I think with all of it, the thing is, I didn't realize until we got off of it all, like it puts you back in connection with yourself, because I didn't know, like I was fully living in a fog before. Like I couldn't, it was a numbed out state. Yeah. And you are like consume is like your mindset, and it's like instinctual.
Yes.
But you don't notice it until it's gone and you're existing in a different way, and you're existing in a way where you're really connected to like your body's natural rhythms, and then you're so healthy you don't want to mess that up, and you don't want to lose that feeling of like feeling good. Yeah. And you don't like outsource your health to other people. You're not looking...
Yeah, where, you know, you got to go to a doctor, you got to consult a physician, you got to call a dietitian or whatever. And my skin's acting weird, I got to go to a dermatologist. Like, no, I know. I was using this soap for 8 months straight, and then I goofed up, left it at home, and I had to go and I had to use Old Spice. That's why my back is breaking out and it looks like I have hives right now. That's how it works. And... But if it's something you genuinely want and you like, oh, you're coming to say hi to it now. Hi. You know, then you are able to carry like that same kind of view across everything. Like you start to be more in tune with like even like people you're around. Like you can feel an energy difference.
Yeah, I never could feel that before.
Yeah, you can feel all that. Like you can pay attention. It's just,
I don't want to be around you.
Just like I was saying. like when I stay out of town, I'm not home. I'm waking up every couple of hours. I know exactly why. I know because I'm in a spot and there's an AC going in here, and those filters probably haven't been cleaned in 8 years. And these bed sheets, it's a hotel. We all know they never wash the bed sheets, you know. And I didn't eat very good today. I ate very little. It is what it is. But you can recognize it. If you're someone who's like looking forward to the cutting the corners, I have nothing to say to you. Do whatever you want with your life. It's yours to live. Don't try to live you can't walk on two different sides of the street at the same time. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like my parents used to always tell me, you can't serve two masters at the same time.
Yeah, I like that.
That's just how it works. You can't play both sides. I mean,
Yeah.
you can for a little bit until the mob catches up to you. What are you doing?
All the dogs. I think there's so many things. No, he's not.
He's just standing like a weirdo.
Yeah.
All right.
I think there's so many things, and I wanted to like break them all down, but I wrote in my January newsletter, I did like, if you want, and it's still up, it's posted on my newsletter, like month by month, if you want to go from nothing to living like a non-toxic lifestyle, I like broke down. So like January is like purge, and then I tell you, and then like February was get the plastic out of your kitchen, and so we had like wood cutting boards, and I tell you how to clean those, and the utensils like the big spoons and all that have wood or stainless steel.
Yeah.
And then clothing is eventually, I think, down in like later in the year. Wearing natural materials, like these leggings are 100% organic cotton, and I used to wear basically like petroleum based leggings, which is very bad for like if you're exercising and you have this like soaking into your skin.
Yeah.
So, and then like the towels and bath mats, and then the products is like the big thing. The amount of products, especially girls are told, but even men, the amount of products that everyone says you need is just so crazy. Like, you do not need all of these, like a specific face wash, a specific body wash, a shampoo that's specific, this lotion for your face and this lotion for your feet, and this like every single thing like that. It's toxic, probably.
A medicine cabinet in your bathroom that's just chocked full of everything from your toenails to your knee bone to your hair on, it's insane.
Clogging up your system.
Yeah.
And it's on purpose because they want you to keep buying all these products more.
Well, yeah. You got to clean your pores out. Oh, now you got to fill your pores out. Oh, you got to hydrate. Now you got to dehydrate.
The part that cracks me up is when people say like it's too expensive to buy non-toxic products, but like
it's not, because non-toxic products
don't use any products.
You don't. Yeah, that means you don't use anything at all.
Don't buy it at all.
Yeah.
Like, just stop buying stuff. The thing that has been shocking is, I told you this a couple weeks ago, I've not been washing my face with face wash at all.
Yeah.
Now for months. And I thought like, oh no, like your makeup's gonna get clogged in there, or like I'm gonna have crazy acne. My skin is better than it's ever been because it's not clogged up with or being stripped of its natural oils. Like, we weren't made as humans like with a little caddy. Like, okay, in order to like not have your skin crack open, you also have to put on all these lotions.
Yeah, you got to go cut open this plant. There's just some little cream that's going to come out. You got to put it on your face.
Something's off if your skin is so dry or so like, that's a sign that you're consuming.
Your skin's all dry because you've been drinking bourbon every night and you've been staring at the sun all day long. That's why your skin's dried out. It's not because you forgot to exfoliate 3 days ago. No, it's because you're not living right, dude. You're not taking care of yourself.
So that's been the craziest
Truly non-toxic just means not using a million different products.
Not using all the things you've been told you have to use. I think that's been the biggest surprise, because at first I did spend a lot of money on all the things, like I spent a lot of money on like this specific soap and this specific lotion and this laundry detergent and this cleaning spray. And like, there's really only like 5 things that you need total. And a lot of it you can make yourself, like, a lot of things. Like, for lotion now, I put on my feet just coconut oil. And that I use coconut oil sometimes to cook, sometimes to swish my mouth for my oral hygiene. I use it as lotion. Sometimes I put it in my hair for, like, a deep conditioning mask. Just a jar of coconut oil. Like,
Yes.
There's not all these products. And if you look at the non-toxic brands that are really good, you look at their ingredients, and this is what got me to it. Their ingredients are like 3 things. It's like coconut oil, beeswax, and like tansy oil or something. And it's like, okay, why am I going to spend $50 for 1 ounce of this cream when I can just put coconut oil on? And if I really need to, I want to get bees soon so we can have our own honey and our own beeswax. But that's a long-term game.
Yeah, we need a little more property. So, just need to buy my neighbors out. Just demolish their houses and build.
Yeah, but if you really don't want those expensive products or you don't have, like, the money for them, then just start stripping everything away. It's a lot easier.
It's very simple. What it always goes back to, I'm always like, my mind is always blown at, like, a lot of this stuff was, like, so simple, and it was right in front of our faces, like, growing up. Like, everyone used to, like, joke around as a gag. Like, I remember, like, in middle school, when people were, kids are, your friends, your buddies are trying to make stupid, dick jokes or whatever. Like, what's the biggest organ in your body? Everyone knows, like, your skin.
Yeah.
But, like, as we turn into, like, adults, it's like everyone just, like, forgot about that. It's like, obviously, it's the biggest organ of your body. It's taking everything in. If you stand in front of your exhaust pipe for 10 minutes, it's going to take that in. If you go smoke crack, it's going to take that in. If you go, get diesel or gasoline all over your hands, it's going to take that in. Everything you do, you stand out in the sun in the desert with no clothes on for 12 hours straight when it's 157 outside, you're going to take that in. Like, everything you do it comes in through your skin. Like, it's such a simple thing. And it's just mind-blowing that people think, like, they have, like, genetic problems or, like, they don't relate it to, like, the products that they're putting on. It's like, well, I put this on and it didn't work and it caused this, so I have to put this on after. And, like, how people, they just don't open their mind. Like,
it's
you just
confusing.
need to get rid of everything.
Yeah, because the thing that blew my mind, I might have said this before because I used to say it, but I feel like I've not said it in a while. If you wouldn't eat it, like, if you're like, you can't eat that, it's like poison control if you eat it, don't put it on your skin as lotion. Don't like use it in your mouth as toothpaste. If you have to call poison control if you ate a glob, like a couple globs of it, even if you ate like a whole bowl of it, like, you should be able to eat everything that you're putting on your skin.
Yeah.
And be okay, because it's from nature and it's like it's healthy.
100%. That's exactly how it works.
And all of these things compound, though, to feeling like you're down, you're lost, you're not creative, you don't have time to think, you can't think, and you feel sick. Like, it just, like, compounds.
Yeah, trust me, I can use the same excuses as everyone else. I don't have time either. I don't get very much sleep. I have an unknown schedule. We can all make the same excuses. We can all say, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time. Fortunately, I have you. So, like, obviously, like, you're doing a lot of the deep diving and stuff. Why is Captain moving that plant around?
He's getting his toys from I put them in the plant.
Goofballs. But, no, I mean, I don't know. We can all use those same excuses. It just comes down to, like, how much you value your health and
your
like,
life.
Yeah, pretty much. And like, I don't know. I think it's frustrating when you do have a little bit of an eye-opening experience when it comes to all this stuff. Like, I have, like, no patience for people that constantly have ailments, but then when you try to tell them, oh, it's because of this, maybe here, look into this, and it's like, no, it's not that. My doctor said it's this. It's just, I just lose my mind. It just,
but
I can't
then
help you, man.
You can't, and that's the thing is, you're not supposed
their
to.
response is just like, I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the money. I don't have this. I don't have that. It's like, but honestly, this is so much cheaper than going to the store and buying all this different stuff. Because then, okay, sure, you spend maybe less money up front. Don't start barking at each other now. You spend more money up front, I guess, to go to the grocery store and buy, the grain itself instead of bags of flour, whatever. But in my point of view, your health ends up suffering, and you end up spending more money on the back end when it comes to your doctor's visits and your kids or your family or whoever having all these different ailments. You end up then you're buying medicine, then you're buying this, you're buying that. You end up spending more money because you said, I don't have the time, I don't have the effort, I don't have the energy, I don't have this, I don't have whatever it is to, try to invest in my health.
A lot of people say that. They always say, you pay now or you pay later.
That's exactly how it works.
But I think with that piece is you can't tell someone if they're not ready to hear it. No one's going to change unless if they want to.
No, I'm not advocating for going out of the way telling people they're doing something wrong, but like...
You can offer a suggestion and right off the bat the dogs are going insane. That's, I think, time. They're telling us it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, they're bickering right now.
Playing, fighting, I never know. Okay, little dogs. You were supposed to sit here the whole time. You did good for the first bit. Well, anyways, if you want the month by month
did we go too
breakdown.
Far off the topic or no?
No, I mean there's specifics like toilet paper. You got to stop buying conventional toilet paper. There's certain things, and I go into it all in my newsletter. So click the link and find all of that there. The January recap, or no, the December recap breaks it all down. So that would be a couple posts back. But yeah, that's good. Cheers to... What was it again?
Cheers to quality.
Pristine. I was like something with a P. Yeah, pristine, quality, and beauty. Everything you consume, pristine, quality, pristine, beauty.